their leadership is quintessentially from Bihar. There is no way, one can talk about the impact of Mr. Narendra Modi, his star power, his charisma, his popularity, the fact that everybody knows his face. But the fact is that he is a force multiplier in Bihar. He is not the face of Bihar, because BJP tried to make that into a political statement before the campaign really kicked off and the polling dates were announced. It said that, we will decide on who is going to be the chief minister after the election, after the votes are counted.
Right.
And then they had to eat crow and say, no, it's Nitish Kumar whom we are going to be lining up behind. And that I think is the politics of Bihar. It is regional, and it is quintessentially local politics. And the wave is quintessentially a wave in favor of Mr. Nitish Kumar. And it's probably the gift that he is getting.
Right, Ms. Mukherjee, and of course, Congress this time had the dual challenge. First, of course, improving its own vote tally as compared to the 2020 polls in terms of the vote shares and, of course, the seats that were won. And second, of course, carving out a distinct identity rather than just being an RJD ally. But now the public has seemed to see through it, and the numbers are painting a very comprehensive picture here. But the question is, now that we see BJP's lead over JDU within the alliance, despite both of them contesting for the same number of seats, which is 101, how is this later to impact the power dynamic within the party? And now let's also think about Nitish Kumar. Of course, you've mentioned that the rightful thing to do would be to line behind him, as we will see. But in terms of incumbency, how do you think this is going to be followed after Nitish Kumar in the future? Do we have a new face at all that would be primed to follow in the footsteps of Mr. Nitish Kumar?
That's what I said. The faces are emerging very clearly. LJP's Chirag Paswan and Tejasvi Yadav. These are the two faces of Bihar's next generation of leadership. They will slug it out. How the JDU survives beyond Nitish Kumar is something that we have to see, because the JDU doesn't have a leadership to hold it together. These are all post tomorrow.
Right.
Today is Nitish Kumar's day. And that is, I think, the most important thing that we can think about of this election.
This is, of course, an election that Nitish Kumar has just managed to, prove everyone wrong, because not even the pollsters, the most ardent supporters of the BJP would say that they were expecting 190 plus seats that the leads of this moment seem to be projecting. If you were to assess as to what would have been going through the minds of the people of Bihar, the fact that Nitish Kumar, who has been at the helm of affairs for so long, and he's still not facing any anti-incumbency, what do you think explains this result?
I don't actually think that there is no anti-incumbency. There is anti-incumbency, except that the voters haven't chosen to focus on it, because if you talk to people from Bihar, then they are telling you very clearly there is a problem that they have with corruption, which government's corruption, money which is there, which suddenly that evaporates when it reaches when it is meant to be dealing with a particular problem or a bottleneck or a road or bridge or whatever.
Right.
And then you have bridges that collapse, roads that collapse before inauguration, after inauguration, and all of that. They're also talking about the fact that they have money for a Janaki temple, but they don't have money for an investment that will a productive investment which will result in more jobs on a sustainable basis.
Right.
They're talking about the fact that, you've given us 10,000 women are talking about the fact that you've given us 10,000 rupees. That's not really enough to start a business. There is a problem with people in Bihar talking about the migration crisis and the fact that, they have to leave their homes and their families and their comforts and move to cities where they live in the most ghastly conditions and and fight for survival on the streets of all these places, which is hostile to them. And the fact is that, people are very aware of the problem.
Right.
They know what the problems are. They know what solutions they're looking for. But this time, then they are also looking at the fact that just even as the
it's
election
interesting, Ms.
process
Mukherjee.
was underway,
it's interesting that you're pointing out.
no, let me just finish this
Yeah,
one
yeah.
point.
Go ahead. Make the point, then I'll give you the question.
62,000 crores. 62,000 crores was what also helped in the direction of a shift.